Welcome to Days at Dogwood Canyon, a nature podcast brought to you by Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center in Cedar Hill, Texas. This is a podcast that will take you into our 200-acre wildlife preserve in the heart of the DFW Metroplex. Take a quick weekly break with us and get outside with the fresh air, the trees, and of course, the birds. My name is Kiersten, and I'm Center Coordinator Community Programs here at Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center. Welcome, listeners, to our Days at Dogwood Canyon podcast. This is a podcast about nature, birds, plants, and us. We will talk about how we all rely on each other to live our best lives. As we get closer to freezing temperatures, it gets more difficult to talk about plants you can see at Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center, but I think I found one that is perfect for this season. Actually, I can't take credit for this one. I asked my fabulous coworkers what their favorite plant was during the winter at the preserve, and Michaela, our operations manager, offered me Frostweed. Frostweed, Verbicinia virginica, also known as white crown beard, ice plant, ice weed, Virginia crown beard, and richweed. Frostweed is a perennial herbaceous plant and can sometimes be biennial, which means it may return every other year instead of every year. It can grow to about 8 feet in height, but it is often much shorter than that. The leaves are dark green, and each stem has soft, fleshy green flanges running longitudinally down the stem. The leaves are wide and come to a point. They are quite attractive and offer some shade beneath the plant. The leaves will die off in winter, leaving you with sticky-looking stems that are actually great overwintering homes for our native bees. So feel free to leave them through the winter time. Fall brings small white flowers to attract the eyes and offers a late fall nectar source to migrating insects. The flower heads can reach a diameter of 3 to 6 inches, but this will consist of multiple small flowers. You can see these blooms anywhere from July to December, so that's quite a nice long blooming season. These plants like the edges of forested areas best, and this is where they will get partial sun to shade. That's what they seem to like. You'll often see them near dry, open woodlands and stream beds. Now, why are they called frostweed? In the winter, when temperatures get down to freezing, the stems of this plant will exude water that freezes in some pretty spectacular shapes. These formations are called ice ribbons, ice flowers, ice fringes, ice fingers, ice filaments, ice leaves, frost flowers, frost ribbons, and frost beards. So we've definitely come up with a lot of descriptive names for this really interesting phenomenon. But I think frost ribbon is the best. These formations really look like white ribbons attached along the length of the stem. It is pretty cool. The native distribution of frostweed is from Pennsylvania, west to Texas, and then south to Florida. It can be found in 23 other states, and it will spread via rhizomes, so if you have some, you will eventually have a lot. But you can keep it tamed with a little elbow grease. These may be difficult to find at a nursery. Unless that nursery focuses on native propagation, you might be able to find some frostweed there. But you can retrieve some seed heads from dried plants. So definitely please leave some for natural reseeding and for the birds to eat. But you can pop off a couple of seed heads after they go through a freeze, because these seeds most likely need cold stratification for germination the next year. You can also divide at the roots during the winter when the plant has gone dormant. If you're not sure if this plant nearby is what you need and you can't find it at a nursery, you can order native seeds from Native American Seed Company. They carry frostweed. And Native American Seed Company supports Ladybird Wildflower Center in Austin, Texas. Anytime you're purchasing seeds or a plant from a nursery, make sure the scientific name of that seed or plant is Verbicinia virginica if you're looking for the native frostweed. Because there are many common names for frostweed, and I only told you a few of them, and other species can be confused with this particular frostweed. So you certainly can plant this in your own yard. And actually the best place is with shade or along a forest edge that may back up to your yard. It is a beautiful and useful plant for native bees and our European honeybees as well. Butterflies are also drawn to it, and if you happen to be in monarch or painted lady migration paths, this offers great fall nutrition for them as these butterflies migrate to their winter destinations. So where can you see this plant at Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center? Well, we have this plant growing along the back of our building. If you come out specifically to look for frostweed, just ask and we'll be happy to show you where it is. To see the frost ribbons, you will have to come when the weather is cold and first thing in the morning after we've opened, only of course if the temperatures are still cold enough to keep that frost ribbon from melting. So listeners, I hope to see all of you out at Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center this winter looking for frostweed.